Normally on my channel, I talk about budgeting and decluttering and organization. And today I want to deviate a little bit and talk about creating your own happy space when you're in a house full of people. Um, Clearly, I have a craft room, but it wasn't always this way. So for the first, oh my gosh, 15 years of my marriage, I didn't have a craft room. That didn't exist. So what I did was I created my own little happy space within my bedroom because it was one, a place that I can kind of walk away from the other things that are going on in the house. But because the bedroom is not completely my own, I had to create a space in that bedroom that would bring me some joy. So you see this shelving here. Actually, this shelving got built and we dismantled it and brought it here. But this was something that was fitted for my old bedroom, and it was meant to put in yarn and things like that, books, knickknacks, whatever. And that became my little corner that was like my happy corner. So like underneath that I had like a night table that had like some art on it, and knickknacks and whatever else. And that was my happy space. So, and then off of that, I think I had a few pieces of art that aren't in here anymore, but they're in other parts of my house that were also in the bedroom. And that created more of a serenity in a house that had a whole lot going on. Because at that point, my kids were uh, early teenagers, young teenagers. And so we had a lot of running around going on. You know, my husband was not working from home at the time. So we had a lot going on. There was a lot of running around, a lot of chaos, a lot of after school stuff, a lot of clubs, that kind of thing. Um, so that's an example of something that you can do to create your own happy space. If you don't have it in the bedroom, but you've got like a chair that you like to sit in, and like that's your chair when you're watching TV. If you can get like a little end table or something and put like little tchotchkes or whatever that make you happy, um, try doing that. We have a lot of animals, so I understand the animal thing, and so that kind of creates an issue. So you have to kind of know what your animals are going to touch and not touch, when you start talking about end tables and things like that out in an area where the animals are allowed to go. Um, but you have to kind of think outside the box and just go, okay, I can't have a whole room, and I can't have, you know, if you can't have part of your bedroom, like if you've got a space that you like to gravitate to every day, see what kind of touches of whimsy you can add to make that space better. Like maybe a couple of crystals or like a little candle, a couple of photos, some books, kind of make it look a little nice, and that could be part of your happy space so that it's not just a chair in a room, or where else could you hang out? Dining room table. Some people do that. If you've got a dining room table that you hang out at, okay. What I've done, and actually I've got this on my kitchen table right now, so I understand. Um, I had flowers, and I like to dry flowers and then use them as decoration. So I have like this little wooden bowl, and like the flowers that dry really pretty, I like clip them so there's like this much stem before the bud, and they're just in there decoratively, and it looks pretty. And I have like a little bud vase right next to it, and it's just a little touch of whimsy on the kitchen table. So you could do that with your dining room table. So it's like something that brings you a little bit of joy in your day full of chaos when you have a house full of people. Because I, some people might feel strongly about this, but I don't think that even if you're allowed to, or your partner doesn't care, or they say they don't care or something, I feel like we should not take over a whole entire home as our space. Now, some people do that for content. I don't know their situation, but I always think about their partner in that situation where they're coming home and nothing in that house represents them. I don't think that's fair. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think that's fair. And actually, there is a channel that I watch here on YouTube. I'm not gonna name names, but the husband straight up said that he didn't like it, but he lets the wife go ahead and decorate the whole house the way she wants. And I'm like, I don't think that's fair. I don't, it's like, yeah, okay, she's probably bringing in most of the money, but it's not really about who's bringing in the most money. It's about letting each partner represent themselves somehow in their house. Like my husband, he's got his office, he's got his art and all that stuff going on in his office. That's his space, you know. And then where we sleep, obviously, you've got your little space where you've got your stuff or whatever. But I feel like we shouldn't take over the whole home when it comes to representing ourselves, but we do need to have a happy space. So when we moved here, this actually used to be my son's bedroom, and I used to have my craft room upstairs, and then we swapped. Um, this room is smaller, but what I like about having a smaller room is the fact that I have to hone in on the organization a little bit more. So because I like to spread out, I like to have things everywhere. So that keeps me on top of my organization, but it's also my happy space. So I'm in here most of the day, crafting, filming, whatever. Yeah, so there you go. That's my happy space. So I hope that you got some ideas on what to do to create your own happy space. And if anything resonated with you in this video, please give it a like. If you have any ideas that I didn't mention for creating a happy space, leave them down in the comment section. I'd love to hear them, and then maybe I'll make another video about that and put your ideas onto a video. Okay, so I will see you next time. Take care and have a good week. Bye.